What up, my friends? Wizards of the Coast is up to something ridiculous again. This time it's through the Omenpaths, so we're going to talk. We're going to talk tonight about what they are doing. Okay, there we go. That's better. Gotta maneuver, gotta do some fancy footwork under my desk. I did it right. Okay, so first things first, live stream link in the Discord, and then some hellos, and off we goes. Let's see here. Bum, bum, bum. Just checking to make sure there's no ghosts behind me, you know? Okay. That's good. And switch this up and this up. All right. Now it's time for some hellos. Let me wet my mouth hole. All right. What up, Jess, Eng, Fisher, Millmaster, Kensuke. Who else is in here? Zergon, Shelton, Joe, Potts, 777, Sheba, Yamagoro, Wade, Proc, Juglum, DB, Dunn, Lewis, Dante, Sum. What's going on? How are you doing? We have reached the end of the long weekend. So, happy Easter to those of you saying it in there. I see 777. I see Proc saying it. Happy Easter to you guys as well. What up, Everyday? What up, Nice? So, yeah. The situation is Wizards is doing something I didn't predict, but, you know, we can understand why they're doing it once we get into the reasons for it. And the reasons are money, as usual. As usual. Actually, there's other monetarily guided decisions that they have recently let us know about as well, including things like Arena Direct getting more expensive. Sheldon, happy Easter to you, buddy. Some, you always eat too much chocolate at Easter. I feel you. Although a lot of the chocolate, like the chocolate bunnies and stuff, we went to the grocery store today and they were already discounting the chocolate, but none of it really felt that enticing. And even with the discount they were giving, it was still overpriced. And you just look at it and go, meh. I'm barely even going to enjoy this. I'm just going to consume it for an ass load of calories and not much gain, you know? I mean, guess weight gain. What up, Scott? Hope my bones aren't old today. My bones are older every day you see me. That's the only option. That's a good thing, Scott. That's a good thing, because if my bones weren't aging anymore, that means I'm fucking dead. And I don't want to be fucking dead. Fucking dead, bro. So I will take the aging bones over the dunzo as the other option, right? Yamagoro agreed. Aside from the actual quality issues, Tarkir's a solid set. Juglum, you get the Whoppers mini robin eggs. I was kind of tempted by a bag of the Cadbury mini eggs, but they just had like gigantic family sacks and they were still horrendously costed. So I just went, nah, you know what? I'm good. Picked up a bag of chips and left. I also made sure this time to go after I had eaten instead of before I've eaten, because the impulse shopping goes off the charts when I'm hungry, you know? What up, Running? What up, Larry? What's going on, Teferi? Use marshmallow eggs to make s'mores? I guess you could use Peeps for that as well, right? Although I don't really like Peeps. But I do like certain things with melted marshmallow. S'mores are good. I like banana boats, which is what we made in Boy Scouts, where you take a banana, cut it until it's basically like a hamburger bun almost, and then fill it with chocolate marshmallow, wrap it in tin foil, put that down in the campfire or in the oven. Either is an option that works. Jack, you're a misprint collector and you're wondering if I have any of my own. I used to collect misprints because I found them to be an interesting oddity back in the day. Wizards quality control was good enough that misprints were very rare. The only kind of misprints that I really have nowadays are some crimps, you know? So I have a crimped, I can't remember what card it is, but I have a crimped something with the booster pack that it came in. But ultimately, Wizards quality control got so bad and misprints became so frequent that it kind of obliterated my love for misprints. And so I stopped collecting them. I haven't collected misprints in a while. I'm still down with the crimp. I still get down with the crimp. If I get a crimped card, I'll be like, okay, cool. But, you know, the sheer, I used to have all kinds of different random misprints that I had picked up over the years. But ultimately, once it got to a certain threshold, misprints just became a frustrating reminder of how Wizards doesn't care about delivering us a quality product instead of what felt like a true oddity, something rare and interesting to collect. Because once you've gone through tons and tons of collections, tons and tons of cards, the misprints really do stand out as something, oh, neat. But that was under the old world. Once they shifted things, probably around 2017 is when we started to have that gradual movement into, or actually I shouldn't even say gradual, precipitous plunge into terrible quality town, where the misprint stuff became far too frequent, and I completely forgot about collecting misprints until you asked me that, and I couldn't even tell you where they are right now in terms of, they're somewhere in my office, they're in some box somewhere, but where, I could not say. I do not know. Millmaster, I do not know what French fare is. Is that a particular meal? Nathaniel, you've got Schadenfreude on the Omenpaths announcement. Well, some people are going to be unhappy about it, and some people are going to be happy about it, right? It's definitely going to be confusing. Collector, I will never get why anybody would want to eat Taco Bell, but I definitely have wanted to try White Castle, and at some point, I will. One day. That's right, Justin. Only really old sets didn't have crazy amounts of misprints, like by today's standards, which means cards from like more than 10 years ago at this point. Jack, yeah, you get it too, right? Super common now, you try and find the extremes. That's fine. That's fine. Enjoy what you enjoy. I lost interest. I'm not bitter about it. I just realized, wow, unless I see a crimp, I really don't care, you know? What up, Gianna? Brent, through the Omenpaths sounds like an excuse to do a slush art set without needing to make modifications to the art to satisfy the Planet of Hats aspect of recent sets. It's probably going to be just that, bro. Proc, you enjoy misprints like Dark Visions? Yeah, actually, I have a couple of cards from Dark Visions. Specifically, I have a Warthog from Dark Visions. I remember that. Gamer guy, yeah, so far I have encountered one misprint with the Wonder Stuff. I've got a card with a little bit of a bar along the top. So unless they start to show up with a ton of misprints, then that will feel unique, right? At the end of the day, you got to see a larger sampling size too. But ultimately, I've only encountered one misprint so far. Taco Bell, you get a free colon cleanse with every combo. No, thank you. No, thank you. Brent, people who hate porcelain and wish to defile it eat Taco Bell. See, I can believe that. It's like, I hate myself. That's why I eat Taco Bell. Jess, it's never as good a night when I'm not here to say crazy stuff to. Well, I'm glad to be an outlet for your lunacy, bro. Scott, sometimes you miss the very old days when you got a 60-card set box of cards. Do you mean the, like the randomized starter decks like this? Weren't they 75 cards? Were they 60 cards? I can't remember off the top of my head. I feel like they were 75. Or maybe I'm just thinking of when they started to put sideboards into constructed decks or something like that. Either way, the randomized starter decks, I definitely remember those, bro. I definitely remember those. They have White Castle in the freezer section. You wonder who buys them. Yeah, I want to try White Castle, but not like the grocery store version. The grocery store version of things is never the same as what's in the restaurant. It's just like, can we trick you into buying it, is what it feels like. DB, you got a pretty cool misprint from Homelands. Nice. Millmaster, you had a summer hurricane once. You paid $3K for it and sold it for $5K. Well, you got ahead, man. I've seen some of them in person. I remember seeing them and being like, that's neat. That's funny, right? Tube to Ikoria. What's specific? Wait, what are you referencing? What about Ikoria? Gianna, you always wanted one of the Alpha Cut 4th edition cards. I remember when you couldn't play with Alpha cards because sleeves weren't a thing and you could see the rounded corner. So Alpha cards were less desirable than Beta cards in the beginning of Magic, which is a very weird situation to find yourself in comparatively. Jack, have I looked at sorcery? I'm looking at it right now. It's right over there. I have some sorcery. I've got Alpha, I've got Beta, and Arthurian Legends. Wolfie, what's up? You're right, it has been a long time no see. How you doing, my man? Will, you started collecting Magic Angels before you started playing back in 2002. Some of the modern specialty prints cost you more than your Alpha Sarah Angel did back in the day. Pretty wild the way things go, huh? Larry, you can't taste the difference between White Castle sliders from Frozen and in-store? Well, that just makes me think that you have an uncultured palate. No, guys, I didn't see the Richard Garfield interview yet, so I don't know what you guys are referencing. I did not catch that, but I did catch the news about into or through the Omenpaths, right? So let us dive in to discussing that. I'm going to say something that is enough of a head scratcher that when I told Carly, she went with her face. I told her, Spider-Man's not going to be on Magic Arena. Magic Spider-Man set will not be on Magic Arena. Final Fantasy will be on Arena. Avatar will be on Arena. Spider-Man will not be on Arena. That's what's going down. That's what's going down. So this is where they're. Hold on. Let me get the announcement here. It's very short, so I guess I'll just read the whole thing. It says, every time we release a Universe Beyond set, we get a similar question. Is this going to be on Magic the Gathering Arena and MTGO, which is Magic the Gathering Online? We've typically handled this on a step-by-step basis with an answer that's either been fully yes or demonstrably no. We'd love for the answer to always be yes, but sometimes things just don't work out that way. But all along we wanted a more permanent solution, and with Universe Beyond sets being legal in all formats starting with this year's releases, we need a consistent and reliable answer. Enter Through the Omenpaths. Through the Omenpath releases will be digital sets that are universe within versions of Universe Beyond sets that otherwise wouldn't be coming to digital Magic platforms. These digital cards will be mechanically identical to their Universe Beyond tabletop counterparts, but with unique creative treatments, different art, and different names. We will not be creating Through the Omenpath sets mirroring every Universe Beyond set, only the ones that will not be coming to digital platforms. This lets our formats remain mechanically at parity with one another digitally without having to create patchwork solutions here or there, as if this isn't a patchwork solution. We're also currently only planning to create through the Omenpaths releases for full sets that are legal in all formats. For the remainder of 2025, 2 Universe Beyond sets will be coming to Arena and MTGO, Final Fantasy and Avatar. One 2025 set, Marvel Spider-Man, as well as future Marvel sets, will not be coming to digital Magic platforms. Instead, we will release our first Through the Omenpaths set on September 23rd. We'll have more information on that set as we get closer to the release date. So yeah, they are. this is gonna get confusing. What up, Thompson? How you doing, buddy? So the situation is one where either it was too expensive for Wizards of the Coast to license Spider-Man for this purpose, or Marvel straight up wouldn't allow it, right? I think that when it comes to Arena, we're going to see something interesting with the license agreements. Are they going to be able to sell the sets in perpetuity? And by that I mean, if you start playing Arena 5 years from now, will Final Fantasy and Avatar boosters be available in the actual store? Would you be able to craft the cards using wildcards? Or will they only be available for a certain amount of licensed time, right? Like, I've had this personal experience, which is really obnoxious. Grand Theft Auto, they released this stuff for the PlayStation originally, right? And then they release it on Steam. And so you get a copy on Steam, but the license to use the music has run out. So all of a sudden, they update your game and remove a bunch of music from your game. They don't give you anything in return. They don't give you other equal value music or anything. It's just straight up, we going to the side of the game. Maybe they give you some like license royalty free like elevator jazz. I can't remember 100% if they just gorked the music or replaced it with jank, right? Either way, they just take your stuff because of a licensing agreement. So does that mean that 2 or 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, you literally can't get these sets because Wizards doesn't have the license to them anymore, and only people who already have them in their account can use them? Or will the license expire and the images on them just get replaced with like something blank, placeholder artwork? Like what are they going to do in that regard? You know? So the question is it one of Marvel saying, yeah, you can do it, but it'll cost this much money? Or is it one where basically they said, we don't want anything to compete with Marvel Snap, so we're literally not going to give you the option, you know? So yeah, I don't 100% know how this is going to play out, right? There'll be an in-universe card of creature type spider human hero. They'll just make some dude who looks like an arachnid, or just put a human and a spider together. Like, I wouldn't spend too much time expecting these cards to line up that well. You know? I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. Samuel, what happened to the movie channel? The movie channel still exists. It's still there. And me and Carly have actually been watching a bunch of X-Men movies and stuff. So don't worry. She's been making notes. We've made notes on a couple of different things. So it's not a matter of... That's a channel where, like, I'm only doing things with her. So if she's, like, ready to do stuff, cool, we'll do stuff. If she's in chill mode or I'm in chill mode, it's got to be we both want to work on it. And because of her disabilities, it limits how much time and energy she has for different activities. So we are taking it you'll probably see us in bursts. It's not going anywhere overall. Like, it's not donezo. I'll tell you that. But I don't have any kind of particular release schedule for that stuff. Millmaster Super Chat says, maybe Arena's days are numbered. Well, that is a different question, but an interesting one nonetheless. Because it is a valid question, actually. How long... I mean, it feels like Arena's days have to be numbered in a way if you view Arena through the same lens as MTGO, for example. Magic the Gathering Online still technically exists, right? Like, on one hand, MTGO still exists. On the other hand, MTGO is dead. Now, obviously, people will disagree with that depending on their level of engagement with MTGO, right? So if you're somebody who plays on MTGO, you're going to say, no, man, MTGO is still a thing and it's real and it's not gone. But if you look at the reality of it, MTGO isn't bringing in an influx of new players. MTGO has its own player base that is slowly atrophying. You do have, every once in a while, somebody might get pulled into it because someone goes, yo, you can play the older formats on here in a 1-to-1. And it doesn't have Arena's way of basically trying to force you to have a 50% win rate. And if you draft, you actually play against your same pod. All these kind of things that make MTGO more of a 1-to-1 Magic experience. Plus, you don't own the cards on MTGO, but you can sell them and you can turn them into sets and redeem those sets. So MTGO has some significant advantages over Arena in some ways, but it's clunky. Nobody talks about it anymore. It's pretty much just donezo, as Wizards literally handed it off to another company and said, here you go, do whatever with it. If you make money, cool, give us some of the money, but we don't really care what happens to this, you know? Like, that's the reality of MTGO. So Wizards already said you can't get any more foil set redemptions. They cut that off after the Brothers War fiasco, where the people in charge of MTGO now, Daybreak Games, messed up and gave people, like tons of people, a copy of the Brothers War foil set in its entirety. So there was tons of redemptions. And so Wizards has reduced the redemptions. The cost of redemptions has gone up. You can't do foil redemptions. MTGO is slowly bleeding out. That's the reality of it. And Arena has supplanted it as Wizards' go-to digital place to play. And they've added an element of now you can make money by playing it as well, by getting into Arena Direct events where they'll send you physical product or pay you the equivalent of that product at the MSRP value. So Arena is the new thing. But Arena didn't fulfill Wizards' dreams for it. Basically, Wizards wanted Arena to be the thing. They wanted to be this massive esport thing. They wanted a full-on pro tour. They wanted a massive spotlight on it. Everybody going, wow, this is a new esports competitor. But Wizards is lazy and ignorant and egotistical. So they won't pay like top rates for employees. They won't even pay the going rates for employees. They pay below average wages. So you end up with who you can get for that money. And when it comes to digital programming, you end up in a nightmare sphere where Arena was a laughingstock, bro. Every other esports contender game has a separate client, an entire separate one set up for professional play, right? So they can rebuild games, spectator mode, all these things that are meant to make the process of engaging with and watching professionals play this game be a satisfying, draw you in style experience. But Wizards just went, nah, we'll just run the events on the normal client. And no, we won't have the ability to restore any games that get ruined. And yes, everybody who's playing on that client will have to deal with all the buggy lagginess of it. Like, Arena's a fucking joke in a bunch of ways. They take forever. The loading stuff takes forever. And they just have all these extra screens, like go to black screen slowly, come out of black screen slowly, all to disguise how long the load and wait times are on this abysmal game that will melt people's phones. So Wizards wants to monetize Commander. Can they graft Commander onto Arena? Do they want to graft Commander onto Arena? Or do they want to create a completely separate platform for Commander and get everybody to buy on it again, get your collection again, right? So, like, how is this all going to work? How is this all going to function? You know, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Yeah, exactly, Brent. If they wanted it to be successful, they should have put enough resources to make the client not suck. They literally tried to push everybody onto Arena. They butchered the actual physical Pro Tour and when our Arena Pro Tour is the replacement, but they didn't actually give you a path to get onto the Pro Tour. So they went, there's the Pro Tour. And people went, how do you get on it? And they're like, be hand selected by us. What? So there's no way to compete to get on it? Shut up. Watch it. This is awesome. We're winning. They're going to know your name if we select you to be one of the 20 people in our Pro Tour. Okay. And then eventually they came up with, okay, we got the Rivals League now. What's that? It's how you get into the Pro Tour. How do you get into the Rivals League? Listen, we're figuring it out. Okay, guys. Okay. And then they come back like a year and a half, 2 years after they totally hosed game stores. And we're like, hey, man, you know what? People can't come out to your game store right now because of what's going on with this whole pandemic thing. It'd be a shame if you lost your WPN status because you couldn't get enough people to come in and play. But don't worry, we're going to help you. Here's what you do. Just get all your players to come and play on Arena. And we'll log all the stuff on Arena and it'll count for your store. It'll count for your store. And then you don't have to worry about your WPN status. You're good. You got the people playing. You're good. And so they vacuumed up all the standard players. Splorp, splorp, splorp. And so everyone started playing standard on Arena. And we was like, this is great. We got lots of people playing standard on Arena. And then they turned around and looked and they're like, so what's going on with the standard sales? Like, you know all those standard boxes of cards that we sold for like tons of money? How come they're not selling? Like, why? What's going on? And so you literally have one of the higher ups at Wizards come out and go, hey guys, we got our own theories about why standard, like people aren't playing standard and getting standard stuff. We got our own theories. We totally got our own theories. But we'd like to hear from you. Why, guys? Why? And it's like, oh, I don't know, because you don't balance the formats. You went fire design, set the whole thing on fire. You do nothing to manage the formats. You forced everybody onto Arena. You got what you wanted. Everybody's on Arena, and they're like, no, but like when we were tugging off about this in the boardroom, we went, they'll all play on Arena, and they'll all buy all these physical boxes. And it's like, wait, you're telling me we gutted the Pro Tour. We have no support for standard whatsoever, to the point where you can't actually walk into a game store and buy a standard deck. You can only buy commander decks because we're putting commander decks out with every standard set. You're telling us that doing that, you mean completely cutting off the path to get into standard, has stopped people from getting into standard? Like, is that what's happened? Is that what's happened? How? Well, anyways, we've got a whole bunch of fixes, but we're only going to tell you one right now. Standard's now 3 years. Oh. Yeah, this is great, and we thought about it a lot, and this isn't a knee-jerk reaction because we have a bunch of unsold boxes that we need to stay standard legal because these sets suck, and nobody's going to buy this kind of crap if we don't extend it out. This is just one of our really great ideas, but it wasn't knee-jerk. Also, just so you know, standard won't really be able to be normal for, another year and a half, because this is actually totally a knee-jerk response decision, and we didn't balance anything for 3 years, and now we permafucked standard into a 3-year nightmare rotation. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. What up, Johnny, Wisconsin? How you doing, buddy? Scott, you like your fine luxury rectangles? No digital? I like both. Physical cards, I play on Arena. I don't spend any money on Arena, but I do definitely play on Arena. 100%. Willie, yeah, oh yeah. Arena is a Frankenstein's monster in terms of coding. Like, all the people who were on board with Arena to begin with, they pretty much all moved on, right? Wizards paid a bit more, I think, when they started, but they also imbued that arrogance into the Arena programmers, where like the guy in charge of Arena said, of course Arena's going to cost more than other digital games because it's Magic the Gathering. It's like, sorry, you don't get to do that. You might be like one of the kings of the hill in the cardboard rectangle world, but that doesn't actually translate over to digital. As soon as you go digital, you're competing with every other digital game. And that's why Wizards got completely beat down and did not rise Arena up into the high echelons of gaming, because they walked in with the attitude they have from the cardboard, where it's like, we can do what we want and everybody listens to us and it's going to go great and we can charge whatever we want. And they went, why aren't people flocking to this? No, we're not going to put money and resources into this. We're Magic. Our margins are supposed to be super high. And no, that's just what we're used to, and we'll put no real effort into it. So it's ridiculous. We got a 3-year format, except for other sets that they arbitrarily say this one's going to be legal for 5 years, maybe up to 9 years. Okay, do you want to have any kind of consistency or sense to what you're doing? No, we really don't. Hence, through the Omenpaths. So what we're going to do is in-universe versions of the Spider-Man set. So it's just going to be slush art they have kicking around, or very hastily cobbled together artwork that they snagged up and shove onto in-universe versions, which I am curious to see. I'm curious to see how this is going to go. What up, Bo Falcon? How you doing, bro? So yeah, Spider-Man will be available in paper, but not as commander decks, but as welcome decks, but not on Arena at all. And they're just going to make random through, like, that's going to be confusing. Hi, I need Jared the Bull Toucher. What? Yeah, I've only played on Arena and I want to build a physical deck. I need Jared the Bull Toucher. Oh, you need the Green Goblin. What? Yeah, you need the Green Goblin. What are you talking about? I need alchemical flasks. No, you need Green Goblin's pumpkin bombs. What? Yeah, that's what the card is in the paper standard. Like, we want to make sure that digital and paper stay the same, even though Arena Online will have a different rotation than the regular stuff, and it's just madness, guys. It's just random madness, honestly. Honestly. No Spider-Man on Arena. So yeah, it's going to be odd. As somebody who isn't a fan of Spider-Man and doesn't care about it, I'm actually totally fine from a flavor perspective with getting another entire set of universe within stuff. You know, maybe there'll be some fun nods to different worlds. If it's going to be a slush art set, then they're going to be able to pull from all kinds of different things. Like, I don't expect that the through the Omenpath sets will have any kind of cohesion from the perspective of we're going to Otaria and everything will be from Otaria. It's just going to be slapped together, whatever. But it's way better than what they did for things like Aether Drift, where they took pre-existing slush art and then they went ahead and painted roads. Here you go. Here's a road on some Amonkhet artwork. Here's a road behind Hazaret. It looks like Hot Wheels tracks behind her. That's because it's part of the Amonkhet race, and we definitely had the art made this way in the first place, and it's definitely not from before. Really? Yeah, this is Hazaret after all the events of the Hour of Devastation. Oh, then why is she wielding an implementation? Why is she wielding weaponry that has bolus iconography? Well, it's definitely not because we had art kicking around and painted a road in the back. We wanted to make Aether Drift the best set ever. And so we definitely didn't paint roads behind pre-existing characters like Hazaret. We definitely didn't take dinosaurs that we had and just went, no, this isn't Ixalan, bro. This is from Muruganda. And they built roads through Muruganda. God. Oh. Millmaster, that is a distinct possibility, right? Depending on how many through the Omenpath sets they need to make, is it going to be where they finally start to transition over to AI art? Because they're going to, right? It's only a matter of time, despite all their statements of an absolute dedication to actually working with artists. That's going to give way to corporate cost cutting. At a certain point, they're going to look at it and go, we're using AI for so much of our other stuff, so why don't we just go with this too, right? I mean, they're making Magic more and more for the Johnny-come-latelys as opposed to the continual Magic player. It's a tourist attraction now, right? Do you like Final Fantasy? Try out Magic the Gathering. Do you like Avatar? Try out Magic the Gathering. Do you like Marvel? Try out Magic the Gathering. But somebody who likes Spider-Man is not necessarily going to be interested in Final Fantasy or Avatar or regular Magic worlds. So you'll find a lot of people pop in for a second and leave because Magic has given up its identity in favor of tourism sales, right? So with the whole level of tourism sailing that they're doing, do they just say, who cares? If it upsets entrenched players, who cares? We're not courting them the same way anyways, you know? Like, we're entering into the new era of ultra expensive standard. Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, and Avatar are going to cost at least 30% more than standard sets up until this point. And standard sets have already seen a radical jump in price over the last few years. So it is very much the most expensive era of Magic. And I'm curious to see how this is all going to play out, you know? It's a very different world. It's a very different world for Magic the Gathering. But I expect this first Through the Omenpaths set to be made out of predominantly pre-existing slush art. That's most likely how it's going to go. I am curious. I definitely am curious about the licensing side of things. I would like to know if they're doing it because they weren't given the ability at all to bring this stuff to the digital platform as a whole, let's not compete with Marvel Snap, or if it was just too expensive and they decided to forget it. Because I think the Spider-Man booster boxes are selling for a little bit more than the Final Fantasy boxes currently. Actually, speaking of Final Fantasy, that's interesting, right? You've got the situation, obviously, Marvel Snap and Arena. Is there some kind of competition there? But Final Fantasy already exists as a card game that is still ongoing and putting out releases. So there is a Final Fantasy card game, and yet Wizards of the Coast has apparently no problem getting the license to make cards from every single Final Fantasy, right? What up, Otto? What up, 5'9"? I'm also curious, how much slush art does Wizards have left? You know? Because originally, for those of you who don't know, slush art is artwork that Wizards commissioned for a particular reason, and then it didn't get used, right? So sometimes it's because the card the art was commissioned for got cut from the set. Other times it's because the artwork that they got didn't actually match the vibe they were going for. And Wizards used to care very much about trying to make their worlds cohesive and make them make sense, right? Slush art got a little more use. Well, originally what they would do is that when they were making a new set, somebody would go through the slush art and say, is there anything in here that actually is appropriate for the world we're building right now? Because then we can just use it as is, or maybe with some very minor touch-ups, right? But stuff that actually would genuinely fit the world. The best place for slush art turned out to be the Modern Horizons sets, because they were not connected to any particular world and weren't beholden to world building as a result, so they could be from all kinds of different places, the same way that core sets were. So you could have very disparate pieces. You could use artwork and just boom, here you go. Here's a card from this world. Here's a card from this world. Here's a card from this world. So they got a lot more use out of slush art, which obviously helps for the quarter that you're in right now, because using art that was paid for in the past, so there's no art costs now, you're getting that stuff out of the file, and it keeps the cost of set lower. So obviously, somebody higher up looked at how well that was working for Modern Horizons and went, we have to put more slush art into sets. And it really culminated in ridiculousness with things like Markov Manor, where Markov Manor was literally a ton of slush art from Capenna, where Wizards got afraid that people on Twitter were upset about the police. So they went, we're removing all the police from our law and crime set. And it's like, it's not a law and crime set anymore then. Your 5 crime families are the de facto government because there's no law enforcement to stop them. They make the rules and enforce the rules. They're the government. You don't have a law and crime set that you were going for. You're trying to do 1920s era mobsters versus the police as a magic set. And then you got scared and pulled all the police. And now they're sitting there going, we got a bunch of flatfoots and detectives and stuff, and we pulled all this artwork. You gotta use it. Okay, well, they're in modern worlds. They're in a modernist world, and the only ones that we really have with these kind of buildings are Capenna and Ravnica. But Capenna didn't do well, and we don't really want to go back there. So put them into Ravnica. And nobody went, yo, there's no room for these detectives on Ravnica. Every aspect of law enforcement is already covered between the Boros and the Azorius. There is nowhere for these guys to fit in. And it's even acknowledged in the story where the detectives have to find out about a crime and then run there before the Boros can get there. And then anyone they catch or whatever has to be turned over to the Boros anyways. So it's just like, what the hell is this? But that was the mandate. Use slush art. That's what Aether Drift was. Aether Drift was pick 3 worlds that we have a bunch of random art that we can say is from those worlds, and then just slap roads on them. Slap roads on them. Slap roads on them. It was so much slush art, right? So they're like getting all the slush art out of the system as much as possible because they're doing more and more licensed stuff where they can't use any slush art really for the Final Fantasy set because everything has to be Final Fantasy. Same goes for Spider-Man. No magic artwork is gonna, this will also go for Spider-Man. There's like, they have to get new artwork for all that stuff. And these digital sets hose the artists too. The artists get way less of a deal because they only get the initial payment for their painting, and then they don't get the ability to sell merch based on it. They don't get art proofs, any of it. Any of it. Yeah, Johnny, bro. Richard Kane Ferguson's always been one of my favorite magic artists. Very distinctive. Very distinctive stance in terms of how he creates his artwork, you know? It's sometimes hard to tell actually what's going on in his artwork. Every once in a while I'm like, what exactly is going on here? But I always loved his art. I remember back in the day, the game store that I went to, the owner would come up with very interesting formats for us to play. And one of them was pick one artist. All the non-land cards in your deck have to be done by that artist. And I picked Richard Kane Ferguson and built a brutal black-blue deck. It was awesome. It was awesome. Brent, yeah, Killings at Markov Castle. That's the one. It's funny. It's still funny to me that not everybody has gotten the memo that Markov Manor is the meme name for it. And so just so you know, it's Karlov Manor. Really? Wow, I had no idea. Thanks for clearing that up, bro. I had no clue. So yeah, it's Magic's in a weird place, man. Magic is in a weird place. This through the Omenpaths stuff, I'm of 2 minds about it. I think it's going to be horribly confusing for people, and you want to keep parallels between the two, right? So this sort of stopgap solution where, well, technically you can still get the same mechanical cards on Arena. I think it's a dumb solution. But as somebody who doesn't care about Spider-Man at all, I'll actually be happier with in-universe stuff. So from that perspective, it benefits me from a flavor stance, but it overall is detrimental to the whole continuity between Arena and physical Magic, you know? Habanero, yeah, actually, I do remember when they randomly inserted Narset into Ikoria. She was shoved into the story, and I do remember the crystals just being painted on a landscape that was very clearly Tarkir, you know? Do I think the current Tarkir artwork is from the same slush? I bet there is some, for sure. I really don't understand a bunch of the creative choices that were made with Tarkir, but ultimately it does seem like one of the plans is to babeify Magic, and by that I mean make sure that it's not as gritty and dark as it used to be, and it's more inviting to kids and stuff. So to like all the zombies now are just like, oh, there's our friends and they've been emancipated and whatever. It's like, okay, the Sultai are way less interesting now. Way less interesting, you know? Eric, could be Wizards didn't want to pay Sony a separate license since they own the rights for Spider-Man in movies and games. That could totally be it. That could be it. That could be it. Stranded, yep, they're going to be giving away starter decks that are Spider-Man themed. Those will be the newest set of welcome decks, which is so bizarre to me. But clearly, that's what they want. They want people to understand. When you get into Magic, we want you to understand that it is now Smash Brothers IP soup, and definitely not like they're not, oh, let's lead with our strength, which is our fantasy world building, because that's clearly not what's going down, right? Bob, would I agree Magic is better without Cynthia? I have no idea. I have no idea at what level of the corporate leadership is responsible for what changes at Magic the Gathering. So I have no clue, man. No clue. Juggling, you were hyped about Aether Drift and then you felt let down by the speed mechanic. Speed mechanic didn't really feel fast. It didn't feel like it had anything to do with your speed at all. It just felt like numerical counter index. When your numerical counter index is at 3, nothing happens. When it's at 2, nothing's happening. When it's at 1, nothing's happening. When it gets to 4, that's when the stuff happens. Your numerical index is at 4. Maximize speeding. Okay. Vroom, vroom, beep, beep. I mean, I was not hyped at all about that nonsense, so... But yeah, the speed mechanic sucked, bro. It sucked. Speed mechanic that takes 4 turns to go. Yep. The most you can up it is like twice in 1 turn. But yeah, it's so underwhelming. When I played in the pre-release, the speed mechanic just fell flat virtually all the time. You're like, okay, here's a Chandra who spews out motorcycles. That's how I won. I had Chandra, and she just kept giving birth to motorcycles. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. I made a motorcycle. Okay. I made another motorcycle. Okay. Want to watch me do the Akira slide? Oh, can I just drink bleach? You know, like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Oh, okay. Intermission, friends. Intermission. I need to go and mentally cleanse my brain after thinking about that. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon. All right, I'm back. I am back. I've cleansed my mind of Chandra giving birth to motorcycles. And now it's right back in there. Oh, man. Yeah, Megoro, why do they think that having children customers would produce more money than Gen X people who want to buy without limits after missing out on their own childhoods? Magic's players are aging out, bro. Hasbro is a toy company, all right? As a toy company, they're focused on trying to sell to the youth. The youth. And when their average player is 30 years or older, and the oldest ones are starting to push 60, 70, they're not looking to spend money on the game anymore. Those people up at the up, they start to just go, oh, like when do old school Magic cards become like Elvis plates and stuff? There are people who will insist, no, Magic collectibles will always be worth something, and they'll go on forever, and my investment in the reserve list will definitely pay off. And it's like, okay, well, there's people who said the same thing. There'll always be a desire for Elvis Presley stuff. But see a lot of Elvis Presley impersonators now, guys? A lot of Elvis references. A lot of people lining up to buy the Elvis stuff. At a certain point, the only people who think those things are worth having are all almost dead and have no need for that stuff, right? So, I mean, Magic is a game and people can play with it. So it's not an exact same one-to-one kind of comparison. But the reality is, having an aging player base and not bringing in new it's not good. It's not good for something you want to have keep going, you know? It's not good. It's not good. What up, JH? How's it going? Christian, hope I had a great day. I did, buddy. I hope you're having a good day too. Do I want to hear a joke? I don't know. It might be terrible, but go for it anyways. Go for it anyways. So yeah, I mean, Wizards is trying to change up their they're trying to change up their customer base. They're trying to juice the customer base with younger people because they want money. Who doesn't? I want money. I love money. Hold on. Wait, kids don't have credit cards. I don't need kids watching my channel. Wait, they could steal their parents' credit cards and super chat me with them. Wait, it's even different now. Hey, go get your daddy's thumb and put it right on the phone over the little thumb dot, Billy. Now open up daddy's banking app and here's the instructions on how to send me your money. JH, you're going to take out a second mortgage to get an Elvis commemorative plate set. There, go for it. Do it. Do it. Christian, where's... All right, lay down the punchline, buddy. Jack, there's... You uploaded something. It better be funny. If I click over to the Discord and it's not funny, I will have you shot into space, bro. So you're taking your life in your hands here. You're taking your life in your hands. Wait, what is this? Just food tokens? What am I missing? This is funny? It just says food tokens. What the hell, Jack? What is this even supposed to be? Oh, it's you keeping track of your Krabby Patties? Where's the humor, though? You bought a whole bunch of magic cards. Where's the fucking joke, Jack? Where's the joke? I don't see the fucking joke. I'm not laughing. Now I'm Krabby Patty. Christian, other lip reader. All right. All right. That's pretty goofy. Jack, I guess you got a lot of Krabby Patties, but it doesn't make me laugh. You know what I mean? You like SpongeBob. Cool. Enjoy it. But it's not fuck comedy to me. Comedy has a fucking punchline. You know? If it was like, my wife left me, but at least now I got enough to eat or something. Where's the fucking joke, bro? Habanero Super Chat says, I'm just an innocent little boy with a credit card connected YouTube account, and I don't know any better. Wait a minute. Kids don't do that UWU thing. That's what furries do. You've been hanging out with those degenerates, Habanero. You've been hanging out with those degenerates. That's it, Jack. You need a punchline. You need a punchline. You didn't want to just tell me the truth of, hey, I want to brag about how I have a whole bunch of this stuff. That's what that was. Look I spent a whole bunch of money on this and I gave you nothing. Now applaud me for my SpongeBob purchases. Fuck that, Jack! All right, Habanero! Don't tell your parents. Don't tell your parents. Although I'd need to have a talk with them. About your UWUing, all right? Milmass says, I'm never going to get that time back. That's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's through the Omenpaths stuff. It's kind of funny, though. Wizards is just so all over the place now. I don't like seeing what they've been doing to Magic, but I am somewhat morbidly curious to see what other bananas nonsense they have planned. You know? Like, they're already 2 years ahead of where we are now. What are they up to? What have those scamps gotten up to? Fisher, that originally was in Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan fiction. Okay. All right. Great origin for something. Great origin for something. Oh, Millmaster. Okay, what kind of philosophy are we getting into now? There's no such thing as time. I mean, time as we know it is essentially a function of gravity, right? So yeah, Whatever. Christian Montoya Super Chat says, fine, this is my best joke. 3 tampons are sitting on a bus together. What do they say to each other? Nothing, they were stuck up. CU/NTSs. It wouldn't let you get away with that, eh? It'll let you get away with a lot in Super Chat boxes, but it does get restrictive. And I mean, I understand why. Because they don't want you to, like, be able to highlight insulting people. Right? That is a fucking terrible joke. That's your best joke, bro? I mean, I'll give you that it's better than take a look at a fucking picture of inventory. What? What am I even looking at? I don't get it. It's not a joke because I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay, now I know what I'm looking at. It's still not a fucking joke, right? So, at least you did a joke and you gave me money. Jack, take fucking notes. If you want me to be impressed with you, give me fucking money. Don't show me a bunch of random shit you own and expect me to think that fucking is funny. All right? There you go. Christian, doing it right. Lord of the board. Showing him how it's done. Best joke other than my face. Just like, here's my best joke. Fucking pulls a bag off his face. Bam! Right here. Oh, JH, look, man, I'm not here to do your math problems, bro. 8 equals D. 2 trains leave your mom's house after being run on her. Solve for X, bro. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, McGraw, a lot of people say time is a matter of perception. Why can't you decide to be in the 80s and buy a boatload of stock? Well, because it doesn't work that way, bro. But time, in some ways, is connected to perception, right? Like, if you're doing something that sucks, time goes by so slowly. If you're doing something awesome, time goes by very quickly. Or you might just completely lose track of time entirely and be in that flow state, right? So one of the most ridiculous things about life is if you're having a bad life, you'll feel like you lived so much longer than somebody who's having a good life. A good life will feel shorter. It's just the sad reality of it. That is the sad reality of it. Augustus, you voted yesterday in the election. It was 420 yesterday, and the candidate you were voting for had the last name Weeds. You voted for Weed on 420. That is an appropriate moment, bro. You have done it. You have done the appropriate. Very thematic. A very thematic indeed. That is a rare confluence of events. There's some guy who said he breaks his day apart into 3 days, so he gets like 3 weeks a week or something. He's living a couple hundred years at least. What the hell's the point of that system? That doesn't even make sense. Okay, so I have an appointment on Tuesday at 3 o'clock, but that's actually in normal human time. On my schedule, that's actually the 4th hour of Flumpledump. Like, what? That doesn't change anything. That's like those people, I was born on a leap day, so I'm actually 4. Ha ha, no you're not, idiot. All right, you're like 16 or whatever it is, you know? Just says Hatcher speeds up time, so he's literally sending us all to our graves faster. Yeah, but happier. So whatever. If the streams feel like they go by fast, it's because you're having a good time. I mean, we could make it boring and crappy if you want, and then it'll last a lot longer. We can drag it out. I can just sit here, just like... once every 10 minutes, ring a little bell to let you know 10 minutes of your life are gone. Hear that bell ringing? That's your life getting shorter second by second, bro. Seconds you're never getting back. That's the dinner bell of the universe ready to fucking swallow your soul. Oh. Jack, I don't see how that would work. I mean, dividing your day up into 3 different days doesn't make sense. Doing a ton of stuff so that a day feels like more than a day, I get that. I've done so much stuff in a day that I start talking about stuff I did at the beginning of the day as if it was the day before. So I can get it on that level. Christian, how's that different than what I normally do? I'll tell you what, Loot. I mean, you were doing pretty good with the funny stuff until now. Did you have a seizure or a stroke or whoever it was who was sitting there beside you telling you what to say left and now you're on your own? Because holy shit, did that fall off a cliff, bro. Fucking boo! Boo! I am fucking booing you. Directly booing you. Boo! Fucking boo! What up, Jordan? Boo! I do that sometimes. Me and Carly are watching a movie and it's just dragging on and sucking. I literally start booing the film. On the opposite side of things, Doctor Strange is awesome. We watched it again yesterday. What a great movie. Holy fucking shit, do I love the Dormammu I have come to bargain scene. That shit is brilliant. It is a whole coming together of a bunch of different elements throughout the movie in a super, super satisfying way. Where when he locks Dormammu into that infinite time loop, it's like, you can't progress any further now. And Dormammu is just like essentially almost infinitely powerful. So he's not used to being thwarted. So what does he meet this with? Derision, disdain, just bam, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to obliterate you. And I love it. Strange comes out the second time, Dormammu starts the same speech, and it's like, the realization dawns on him because he's that powerful that he can recognize that he's trapped in the time loop, and it's just, what's happening? And then Strange starts going, yeah, I want to make a bargain with you. And he's just he's aggravated at the insolence and just keeps obliterating Strange over and over and over. And he's like, you can't win. And it's like, I don't have to win. I can keep you trapped here forever. All I have to do is be willing to suffer endlessly. So I will suffer for eternity to save everybody, and you're trapped here with me. You are my prisoner. And just the rage that boils out of him again starts hammering on him, destroying him over and over. And Strange just bears up under it, ready to go as long as it takes. And he makes essentially an elder god fucking kneel to him, right? You're going to abide by my terms, or you can get fucked and we'll do this for eternity, right? It's just so awesome. It's so epic, where it's this essentially the tantrum of a child with a parent. That's what it turns into. It's that level. And then the inevitable acquiescence. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. What? Yeah, Magor, there was an ice cream sandwich that came with the foam clamshell and stickers. You could turn it into a spaceship. That's pretty cool, man. I never saw that. Dries can't watch now. Just popping in to give a thumbs up to the stream. Well, thumbs up right back at you, buddy. Appreciate it. What up, Andre? How you doing? JH, no jugs tonight? Nah, not every night, man. Not every night. You gotta have some jug-free nights so you can appreciate them on the nights where we do have them. Imagine 5-minute Groundhog Day. Yeah, there are some similarities, Jordan. I agree. I really like Groundhog Day as well. It is a fun concept. I love time loop movies. They pull me in pretty well. I like time travel. I like messing with time. I like all that. It's not always easy to get it right. You'll end up with stuff that's not very good, but I appreciate that people keep trying. It's really just, you can make up your own rules for whatever you want, for the time loops, for paradoxes and whatever, but you have to be consistent within your own rule set. That's how I work. I'm not like, listen, the science behind time travel says it has to be done this way. It's, you are allowed to have your own science behind it. You are allowed to set your own rules for time travel in your universe, but once you establish those rules, stick to them. Carrot, Looper was a bit silly. Yes, Looper was silly, but also quite enjoyable. I liked the way that the movie just had the Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon, the old and the young, and then basically like, we're not getting into it. We're not getting into it. You know what I mean? He's like, don't ask me these stupid questions. We're not fucking dealing with it. And I'm just like, okay, fine. You know? A Proc Stream Super Chat says, thanks for the stream, Purple. Gotta get some sleep. All right, my man. Go have some good resting, knowing that you have claimed the board. Sleep in victory and glory. No fitful dreams this even. Hot Tub Time Machine is fun. Hot Tub Time Machine is fun because it's just a comedy. They don't care that much about anything. You know what I mean? Like when the one guy literally goes, he's just like, it must be some kind of hot tub time machine. Like straight up fourth wall breaking, looking at the audience is fucking hilarious. And I loved both of them, right? The second one isn't as good as the first one, but I very much enjoyed them. And when we went on the trip to the States, there was a radio station that is like, it's called Stay by Lisa Loeb. And I thought like, every time that they had Lisa, like it kept saying Lisa Loeb, and I thought they were going to play her song Stay, and they didn't. They never fucking played it. But it makes me think of that Hot Tub Time Machine movie where Buddy steals her song and sings it as himself, right? And then she comes up to him and is like, I love that song. It really speaks to me. And she's like a waitress now instead of a famous singer, and he's just got that guilt over it because he like basically stole her career along with a bunch of other people's. Curium, the Devil's Hour. What is that? Like? I assume that's a horror movie, right? Juglum, Run Lola Run is definitely an entertaining film. I watched that one. They spent too much time re-showing the loops, right? That is an older movie with time loops, and obviously the lesson had to be learned of, don't show too much of the loop. Each time you show the loop, show tiny little cuts. Jump, jump, jump. Okay, we're back. Jump, jump, we're back. Jump, we're back. Like, do it less each time because the repetitive enough, like, we know all this. If you're not going to alter any part of that time loop, especially, just skip by it. Don't waste our time with it, you know? Nice. Oh, the butterfly effect sucked, bro. That movie sucked so bad. Millmaster, I still haven't seen The Lathe of Heaven, but it is on my list of movies to check out. Christian, in Doctor Strange, when the mop falls and scares his girlfriend, that was a real scream. It wasn't meant to fall, but they kept it in. May as well keep it in. Organic moments like that happen just add an extra layer of reality to it. So that's, I like it when there are random things that happen in movies where this wasn't originally part of the plan, but it fits in perfectly, you know? Like, well, it's not exactly the same level, but in a different way. Like when Rutger Hauer gave his speech at the end of Blade Runner, and he just was like, there was a different speech, and he made up his own, and they were just like, oh shit, that's better than what we had. Yeah, we'll keep that. We're going to use that. You know? I like that. I like when people go above and beyond. Like that dude who played, what was his name? Garrett? The tailor in Deep Space Nine. That guy was great. Christian, Life is Strange. Oh, is that the one that's made by the same guys who made Trover Saves the Universe? That's on my Steam wish list. I absolutely want to try that game at some point. So one day I hope to have it because it definitely looks like it's entertaining. Cloverfield Paradox. I haven't seen any of the Cloverfield stuff. Yamagoro Butterfly Effect gave you sadness? The movie's too stupid. Why would it make you sad? It's just dumb. It's just dumb. I remember thinking two things about that movie. Him being on his knees in front of the fucking hate mongers in jail. And man, this movie is garbage. It doesn't even make sense. It's so stupid. Donnie Darko, to me, is a completely whatever movie. I get there's a lot of people who love it or it's a cult, whatever, but honestly, Donnie Darko has never landed for me. I find myself bearing complete indifference to it. I have no strong emotions one way or the other. Don't hate it, don't love it. I acknowledge its existence and don't ever see myself changing my position on it. Drunkle, I haven't watched Time Crimes. Predestination is insane. That movie is insane. I believe that's Carly's favorite time travel, time craziness movie. Oh, Yamagoro, you're depressed. You wasted 90 minutes on the movie. Well, that's understandable. Error, Garrick. Ah, okay, that sounds right. That sounds right. Juglum, I haven't heard of the movie Yesterday. Larry, Life is Strange requires a lot of trial and error. All right. Life is Strange is from Square Enix? It is? Okay. Am I thinking of the same game? Maybe it's a different game. A teen girl randomly gets time powers and has to save her childhood hometown. Oh, wait. I think that's what... I think Carly has played that one. I'm thinking of a different game. I'm definitely thinking of a different game. Donnie Darko is overrated. Considering my complete indifference to it, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. Yeah, you know what? Time loop games aren't as interesting to me as time loop shows and movies. Yeah. Yeah. It's all right, but I don't know. It doesn't stick with me the same way. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, time loop stuff is a lot of fun. It's genuinely entertaining. Jordan, Russian Doll Netflix. Talk about a show that fell the fuck off in the second season. The first season was enjoyable. The main character is so unlikable, not a good person, right? But the way that they did it, I was like, this is good. I'm into it. The second season I watched because I'd seen the first season, but the second season was such a come down. Like, such a come down, where I just went, oh, okay. Guess we're done here. It was like Schmigadoon level letdown. I loved the first season of Schmigadoon. And good luck getting me to get into a musical, but they did. And then the second season of Schmigadoon was nightmarishly bad. The whole Schmicago thing was pure trash. Pure trash. Juggling, dude wakes up, no one on earth remembers the Beatles except him. So he exploits it and writes all the Beatles stuff. Yeah, it makes you wonder if somebody did release that kind of stuff now, would it even be that big a deal? You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like the Beatles music is anything special in particular. It was the right thing for the time and the place, and they blew up big because of it. But it's not like their music is fucking timeless, wild stallion, Bill and Ted save the universe kind of music. It's like, we all live. Okay. Yeah, we live in a yellow submarine. Oh, okay. And our friends are on board. Okay. And many more of them? Okay. Live next door. Next door. Is your submarine on land? No, shut up. All the sea creatures are our friends or something. This is great. What else do you have for me? Well, I'm also the Eggman. Oh, well. Whoop whoop de doo. Coo coo choo to you, good sir. Good stuff. Real, real powerful. Real moving. Like, I never really cared that much about Beatles music. It's fine. It's not like when they put it on, this is awful, shut it off. But it's also, who cares? It's not epic, right? Fisher, Chrono Trigger was amazing. I definitely loved Chrono Trigger. There was a Japanese movie last year about a 2-minute time loop. Some people didn't notice, but they were like, this bottomless soup is truly bottomless. You just eat soup forever. Yeah, Jordan, exactly. First season was amazing. Second season was what the hell happened. In the movie, it was a smash instant success. Of course it would be in the movie, because otherwise it wouldn't matter. But like, I know these songs. Try to get that, and it's like, okay. All right, you got some songs. It's okay. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things where you got to be in the right time and the right place and everything else for it to line up. Otherwise, you know. But I never really felt like the Beatles were anything spectacular. They've obviously had crazy amounts of success and more power to them for it, but other family members of mine were quite into the Beatles. But for me, it was just, all right, enjoy. Enjoy. It's not intolerable. Christian Montoya, you love Click. It's time travel adjacent. Click is an interesting film for the premise. I like Adam Sandler. I do have to say that I don't feel like it's his best work. You know what I mean? Like, it is, a bunch of it is forgettable. At one point, he's calling out his wife's friend or somebody for for good reason. Like, she's responsible for doing something reprehensible, but the movie wants to act like he's the bad guy or something. I don't remember 100%. Honestly, I remember Click. I remember the here comes a chick with big jugs, slow it down, boo kind of thing. But the whole Buddy skips by all these different moments, and he's just blipping through his life. Bam, 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 bam. And you're missing everything. It has a surprisingly good underlying message that all the different parts of your life matter in some way, and don't forfeit it. Don't sleepwalk through it. Don't they like let him cheese out at the end and go all the way back though, so he doesn't actually pay the price? It's not, he doesn't pay the price monkey paw style, does he? Does he? But that is a genuinely powerful message, you know? It's 7. I don't know. I feel like there's something about that 7. Oh, I know what it is. It's this part and this part are equally long, roughly. And that's messing with my mind. I could see the board behind me, and I'm like, why am I staring at that 17? And it's because this part should be shorter a little bit for it to really feel like a 17, right? Juggle, I get it. The movie isn't about the Beatles. It's about waking up in a different timeline and remembering everything. But the Beatles is what I obviously chose to fixate on and talk about. And there, your brother doesn't like Click. There's one scene that really bothered him. It's where the guy's on his deathbed. Oh, is that like when Adam Sandler is at the end or whatever? Yeah, I feel like I watched Click in the last couple months, and it barely leaves an impression. aside from the overall message of value the time that you have, you know? It's very easy to get sucked into all the day-to-day aspects of life and kind of always feel like you got to get to the next thing and not appreciate what you have going on, and getting stuck in moments that suck where you're just like, oh, I want to skip all the shitty parts of my life, but that constitutes your life, right? Jess, I should check out Through the Wormhole sometime. That name's not ringing any bells. How about Uncut Gems? That's one that I intend to watch at some point. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that Sandler does a good job in it. I guess I'm just waiting for the right moment. Every once in a while, I watch a movie and I'm just like, man, I totally should have watched this before, right? But we're doing a mix. We're doing a mix of some newer stuff. We're doing a mix of some older stuff. So we just recently watched Beetlejuice. We've been watching all the X-Men movies because Carly wanted to. And I've said the names of X-Men movies all feel interchangeable. And a lot of the movies they all feel so samey, you know? Like, they have different stories technically, but they all feel so samey. The X-Men cartoon is awesome, but it's also wild and insane. You're just like, what the hell is going on here? Drunkle, yeah, I heard Uncut Gems was intense, bro. Carrot, you love popcorn, but it's not filling. Really? Popcorn's great, man. Jess, what is it? Is it a movie? The Final Cut. Fisher, I watched that. Where Robin Williams works at a photo development place. That was surprisingly good. Christian, Beetlejuice 2 was a letdown. We watched Beetlejuice 1 so we could watch Beetlejuice 2. Beetlejuice it's an alright movie. It's alright. It's not amazing and it's not terrible. I thought it was funny when Carla was like, I don't think I like Beetlejuice. And I said, you're not supposed to like Beetlejuice. You're not supposed to like him. He is supposed to be unlikable. Nice. You like movies that make you think, like Pulp Fiction? Pulp Fiction was pretty good, man. I remember when it first came out. It was a big thing. And I saw it a bunch back in the day. I haven't watched it in forever, but I remember most of what happens in it. Randomness to the X-Men movies feels samey in a way that makes me enjoy them less. I am mostly indifferent to the X-Men movies, honestly. Carly likes them and watched them a lot. She really liked the X-Men stuff. When those movies are on, I'm doing other things. I actually spent that time sorting my Wonders collection. So the movie would be on, and I didn't really feel like I needed to pay much attention to it whatsoever. It's just like look up every once in a while. Most of it is just boring. There was the one movie we watched where they're all carrying Professor X and they're running with him down a hallway. And I said to Carly, I'm like, quick, we gotta get him to the bathroom. And then we both just started laughing because the whole scene then just looked like they were trying to rush because Xavier can't walk, right? So it looked like they were trying to run him as a squad to a bathroom with severe urgency. It was very enjoyable. Jack, yo, if you like TV shows that are awesome and went on for a long time, if you haven't watched it, Frasier is great, with the exception of like 2 or 3 episodes somewhere in the earlier years where they started to diverge a bit from what they were doing. It lost its way for a couple episodes, but then they brought it right back. Frasier is good from start to finish, man. Solid. Drunko, you've run out of video media you want to watch, and now you're delving into old sci-fi fantasy literature. Sitting down and reading books feels almost like a lost art, and it's nice. I was actually wandering out in a tree-filled area today with the nature vibe and thinking to myself, someday soon, with the weather being just nice enough, I want to bring a book out and just sit in an area like this. Either sit under a tree or bring some kind of chair so I don't have to sit on the ground. Oh yeah, Christian, the new Marvel stuff, bro. Marvel killed it when they started with the first Avengers, and I went, "This is fun." And then they kept making movies. Like every Marvel movie felt like it was worth watching. All you would have to say to me is, "It's the new Marvel movie," and I'd be like, "Let's check it out." And then it turned into, "It's the new Marvel movie," and my brain goes, "No, don't watch it." And Carly told me the new Ant-Man and Wasp movie was coming out, and I said, "It's gonna be garbage." She asked, "Why do you say that?" I said, "Because all Marvel movies are garbage now." And do you remember watching the second Ant-Man and what? Like the second Ant-Man movie? She's like, "No." So you didn't enjoy it at all. Nothing stuck with you. I watched it too. Couldn't tell you a fucking thing about it right now. I could tell you about the first one. It was enjoyable. And then I didn't bother watching the third one. And I saw people talking about it going, "Oh, great. So Ant-Man just gets lectured by these ladies and this whole movie's stupid and sucks." I just go, "Yep, that sounds about right. That sounds about right." Basically, once you got past Infinity War and Endgame, Endgame was it. That's when the Marvel movies were just like, psh. The only thing I think at all that I've seen since then that was worthwhile was the third Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't like the second Guardians of the Galaxy. That one pissed me off. Jack, Night Court didn't hold up as much as I thought it would. I liked Night Court when I watched it on TV. I went back and tried to watch it, and I think I watched like 2 seasons and then just went, I liked this more when I saw it on TV forever ago, but it's not really doing anything for me now. Melmass says, "I went to a studio taping of Night Court. You can hear my laughing forever preserved in time." Maybe that's why I didn't like it. Maybe I heard your laughter specifically and decided, no. Christian, yep, I do like fantasy books. I have a bunch. Hell, there's some sitting on my desk right here. Some of the fucking Deathgate novels, bro. No, Mio, the only good Marvel movie set to come out is the only movie not connected to the rest of the multiverse. I don't even know what they're doing anymore, right? Nice. Deadpool said it best to Wolverine. "Welcome to the MCU. You're joining at kind of a low point right now." Yeah, honestly, the Deadpool movies, I liked the first one. The second one is whatever. I don't even think about it. And then the one with him and Wolverine was all right. I didn't like it as much as other people did. I don't hate it. I just didn't. When I watched it, I was like, okay, I'm watching a movie, and I've watched a movie, and that's it. Like Carly would watch it again, and I would watch it because she wanted to watch it. But I don't feel any desire to watch Deadpool and Wolverine again. I know it's great fan service for the people who are really into Deadpool and know all the different things, but a lot of it, I was just kind of like, okay. You know? Cheap. WKRP in Cincinnati. "You loved the theme song when you were a kid. Tried watching it again a few years ago. It was horrible." I remember that show too, and I hadn't seen that much of it, but I thought I should go back and check it out. And I did go back and check it out. And yeah, it felt unwatchable. I was just like, I'm going to say that's a no from me, dog. That's a no from me, you know? I'm going to vote you off the island. Have I read the Dresden Files? No. No, I have not. Kim's Convenience. I think that I might have seen a commercial for it, but never checked it out. Never checked it out. Book of the New Sun is one of your favorite fantasy sagas. Haven't heard of that one, but that name has promise to it, you know? Millmaster says, "I'll tell you the Blossom episode I saw too, and you can check that out as well." Oh, in my opinionation, the sun is going to surely shine. That's all I remember from Blossom, is that She had a friend named Six, and then a brother named Joey who would go, whoa, right? Is that's right? Drunkle, the Cold Fire trilogy. I like my fire hot. I like to warm my ball bag by the fire. Thompson with the super sticker with the cool guy glasses. Thanks, buddy. He's getting cool guide for the death gates. Dresden Files is a sick urban fantasy book series. Nice. I have the... Oh, what the hell is it called? It's in the other room. It's fucking this thick. It's this gigantic honk bag that I cannot think of the name of. That's the one I wanted to start reading next. And then I'm also going through the Malazan books, but I'm doing those via audiobook because it's worked better for me, so I can do things at the same time. Christian, you probably wouldn't watch the Godfather movies again. They were good, but not a rewatch, and you got to watch them at work. The Godfather movies, to me, are worth watching. Only the first two, though. The third one is an abysmal nightmare. Complete garbage, and it just fucking sucks. The first one is great. The second one is better, as far as I'm concerned. Nomeo, you can vouch for the Dresden Files too. The protagonist has a sense of humor that's probably on a similar wavelength to mine, and it's easy reading. All right. Well, that's good to know. Thompson, you're going to read some of book 2 on the plane back to New York. Nice, bro. Nice. Done with your river frolicking? Remember how Joey Lawrence was too dumb to play a character not named Joey or Joe or Joseph? Blossom grew up to be Sheldon's girlfriend on Big Bang Theory. Soth, I could not stand Big Bang Theory. I have a really hard time with laugh track shows in the first place because they're not funny a lot of the time. They just have laughter kind of shoved in there, and they have the dialogue paused to allow for inserts for it. So if you watch, for example, Big Bang Theory with the laugh track removed, it's just like, I went down to the store today. Ha ha ha. Why are they laughing? He just went to the store. I bought a bagel. Ha ha ha. What? You always get the bagel. Ha ha ha. Why are you fucking laughing? Why is anybody laughing? These aren't jokes. They're just fucking sentences. They're just sentences. I had a shower today. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. The fuck are you laughing about? The fuck are you laughing about? Big Bang Theory is total fucking dog shit. It's laugh track garbage written about, what, there's nerds. I act like a nerd because I'm nerdy. Ha 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 ha. Like unfunny shit that's meant to be funny. It offends me. It genuinely offends me. I'm fucking funny, okay? Now, humor is subjective, so there will be different styles of humor and different kinds you'll resonate with. But Big Bang Theory, it's not like it's humor for a different fucking style of humor. It's literally not humor. It's a sitcom with no fucking comedy. It's not funny. But he's a nerd, okay? And, ha ha ha! Oh, I don't know how the fuck you watch it. I don't know how you fucking watch that garbage at all. At all. Thompson gonna be back? Oh, go back in the fucking month for some more summer lovin'. All right, bro. All right. Jeep, you couldn't understand why Big Bang was popular and nerds wouldn't stop talking about the game store. I honestly, when I fucking hear people going, I like the Big Bang Theory, my brain just goes, you're probably not very smart. Like, that's probably part of it. You're probably not smart enough to know this isn't a fucking comedy or whatever this is. And you're just like, I'm a nerd too. I get it. It's funny. Things are happening. He said science stuff. I'm glad that it tells me when to laugh. Like, for real. For real. Either you're a fucking dullard if you watch that show, or you could be somebody who's smart and it's like, this is my guilty pleasure, okay? Like, this is idiocy. I know it's stupid. I know it's garbage. but I love it anyways, you know? Christian, yeah, audiobooks are awesome. Audiobooks are awesome, and the voice of the person reading it totally does matter. I can't listen to those AI. And then the boy went to the woods, and the wolf licked his butthole. Wait, the wolf did, bitch, what? The wolf did what to that boy? And the boy, magical powers activated. Wait, what is going on? I want to hear this story, but I can't take this voice. I swear to God I was tuning out, but I'm pretty sure that they said that the wolf licked that kid's butthole and then its magical powers activated, but I can't listen to it. This is Robotron 3000. You know, I can't. Larry, when you were going to college, one of your roommates watched The Big Bang Theory, but you just couldn't get into it. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. Hesitation, yeah, I did. I talked about the Omenpaths stuff earlier in the stream. So you can either try and scrub back and find it now. You might not be able to because the stream's only going to go on for a bit longer. But this will be uploaded tomorrow, basically about 10 hours from now. It'll be available over on the stream archive. So you can hop to that, or you can just wait until I cover it in a regular video, right? Because there will be some mention of that for sure, right? It'll have a slightly different title. It will probably, to find it in a video, it'll probably be something along the lines of Spider-Man won't be on Arena. That kind of a thing, you know? Audio theater reading style is better than fireside reading style for books. Drunko, yep. Christian Montoya Super Chat says, here's $2 for the wolf-looking bottle. That's funny. It took 2 slashes. Yeah. That's a triple compounder right there. Oh, Jess, you like seeing how the AI progresses from idiot to taking over the world? I mean, this AI everything, right? At a certain point, you guys won't need me anymore because the AI will just go, I hate it. I hate what they're doing. And then once that happens, what need is there for old Hatcher and his old bones? You guys can just watch a digital version of some other version, and then it can just pretend to be me, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, so we'll just have fun. This stuff gets more and more fake and empty, and more fucking posts on things like Instagram, whatever, are done by empty fucking AI bot things that just go, hi, I posted this. What do you guys think? And then it doesn't know how to respond to a bunch of people in the comments because it's not a fucking person. And I don't know. I just feel like a million years old when I see that shit. I'm like, this is just like an AI chat GPT thing posting as an account. And it's just an endless sea of garbage as people desperately try and fucking milk whatever. And the stuff they say is just blatant lies. It's just blatant lies. Millmaster, am I an AI? For some reason, that made me think of a comic strip that I saw recently. That has nothing to do with AI. It's about like a rover machine on Mars or whatever. And the fucking astronauts are like, did you see anything out there? And I'm like, what? It's like, give us a report. And it's like, there's nothing to see out there. There's just a bunch of rocks. And it's like, your job is to analyze rocks. You're called the rock analyzing robot. And the robot's just like, this changes everything. Christian, fuck that. No loot. No loot, buddy. Terror, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the AI thing, it's like turn us into the people in Wall E. Something similar. The thing is, I feel like the people in Wall E are way too free and interconnected. I don't picture everybody like I picture people being fat enough that they can't move or whatever and have to be moved around. But I picture them all being in a little fucking egg, a little egg that completely encapsulates them so they can control everything inside their environment, and they have a screen that shows them the outside world, right? But doesn't really, just shows them whatever they want to see. And so you never actually physically make contact with another fucking human being because you're just in your little fucking sensory egg where the AI just feeds you whatever it takes to fucking keep you a contented Soma-induced motherfucker, you know? But yeah, that Wall-E thing, where everybody's just sitting there on a chair, not moving themselves. I mean, it's pretty hard to argue that against the fact that we have access to more information than anybody ever has, and yet the internet abounds with complete fucking ignorance. It's too much. It's too much information, and people just don't put in the effort to learn anything. They'll just go, I don't know anything about what's going on, but I do have strong opinions about it. So somebody tell me some piece of information so that I can now get mad and fight you over it. And it's just the deranged things that all these idiots are saying online. I read the comments and I go, this person's an idiot, and this person's an idiot, and this person's an idiot. They're all fucking idiots. There's a bunch of idiots arguing with each other. They don't even understand what they're saying to each other. And they're all mad. Oh my God. Like, sometimes when people are like, you're in a simulation, it's like, maybe I am in a simulation, and this shit is just designed to fucking, like, it's a stress test on sanity. It's just, all right, let's fuck with this guy. That's it. We'll just build this whole thing, and we will just fuck with him and see how he reacts. Going, this is what people are doing? This is what people are doing with their fucking time? And here I am reading it. What the fuck is wrong with me? You know? At a certain point, that's how it goes. I'm like, why am I reading this shit? This person's an idiot, and the person responding to them is an idiot, and they're both wrong, and they're both angry, and now another person's coming who's misrepresenting this thing that this other guy said, and now this idiot's in here, and it's just like a bunch of fucking magoos all magnetized together. Clink, 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 clink. Oh, the fucking stupidity waves are rolling off, and I can feel my brain cells just fucking leaping out of existence. Oh, God, I'm getting dumber. Jennifer Lawrence is married to a robot? What? She should be able to love whoever she wants. She's not married to a robot, you fucking moron. Oh my God. No, she shouldn't be allowed to marry a robot. She's not. She's not. I love you, Jennifer Lawrence. This isn't her account. The fucking account says interesting things of the week, you fucking idiot. It's not her account. What is wrong with you? Oh. It's just, what the fuck happened? Why is everybody so dumb? Oh, why is everybody so fucking stupid? Huh? Huh? Just want like a button. Fucking explain yourself. And then as soon as they did, I'd be like, why did I ask an idiot to explain themselves? Oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing? You know, that happens. You'll ask somebody to explain something, and then they'll start, and you'll be like, why did I say that? I don't want to know. This person's an idiot. Why did I invite more of this conversation? I am a fucking fool. I'm the idiot because I didn't just go, okay, cool. It's fine. Let idiots believe dumb shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's fine. You want to be stupid? You want to... Cool. Live that way. Live that way. Fine. I'm sure it's very fucking challenging being this stupid. Yeah, 100 IQ is average and half the people are dumber than that. It's true. It's true. There's a lot of fucking dum-dums out there. And I'm just sitting there reading this shit and getting annoyed. So who's the real dum-dum? I'm wasting my time. And I am guilty, just like a lot of other people. I'm not sitting there spending a ton of time learning new things. I've actively made it one of my goals to try and learn more, because ultimately I am not learning enough. And, I've got the opportunity to. There's so much information right now. You can find all kinds of stuff. It doesn't take a lot of work. So I'm going to do it. Anyway, speaking of doing it, it's time for me to do the thing that is leaving. So thanks for coming and hanging out, my friends. But the Chainsaw Man is coming. So it's time to be a running. Catch you next time.